welcome to the podcast lab.
Okay, thank you.
Really happy that you are here.
Wait, you're already recording?
Yeah, that's
okay,
it.
I didn't get it. Okay.
Easy. And the thing that I wanted to tell you a minute ago is that the fun thing about podcasts, it's that after a while, after a few minutes, you tend to forget that you're in a studio.
Okay.
And it's just like a flowing conversation about
Life.
anything that the conversation will take us, you know? So there's no need to be rules. And if there is a technical issue, sometimes I need to go to have a look on something because I have no one at the moment monitoring. Sometimes I have, sometimes I don't. And I tell people all the time, get your microphone closer or whatever, you know? So
it'll be cool. But I have to share something with you. Because you were telling me, okay, just be in the flow, be natural, be cool, be something. I remember the moment when you wrote me on Instagram, like, you know, like at night or something, like, oh, you know what, like maybe we should do a podcast together. And then all me would be like, what, whoa, wait a second. Let me think about, you know, like overthinking the whole thing.
Yeah.
And guess what? I was reading a book about perfectionism.
Yeah.
And then automatically, like I put my phone and I went back to the book and then I took my phone and I was like, okay, let's go for it. Because I tend to ask a lot of questions and I'm the perfectionist type.
Yeah.
So when you told me about that and you're like, oh, you know what? Well, let's see what are we going to talk about. Let's see what are the questions. Like it will be something free, like And I was like, me? No, I have to know the questions. I have to look perfect. I have to have the perfect answer.
I can tell you look perfect.
Okay, thank you. I don't know. I feel perfect.
That's good. That's lovely. So you know, actually, it's connected to something that reminds me. I have a friend, which he is also my mentor. I can say that he definitely changed my life on many different aspects when I met him, and I met him on a really low. When I was very low in my life, like in a low period. I was just injured in my shoulders. I was about to get married. I had no dime. We needed money for the wedding. Like, was really in a not a bad position, but I was low.
Yeah.
And when I met him, 2014 or 2015, he actually introduced me to online courses, Udemy and course production, and we partner up and we did many projects together. And he's a brilliant guy. One of the lines that I remembered from him very vividly was better done than perfect. So I think it's super important. Sometimes you're overthinking everything and takes you days and days or months to accomplish one small thing and nobody even pays attention. And sometimes you just blub something into the air and it's natural and it's authentic and everyone loves it. So it's just like, you know, I'm not from a perspective of making everyone happy or not, because you should love what you do as well. But just sometimes the perfection is not it's not always the key to get what you want, you know, to get the right attention, to do whatever you want. So just like it's really brilliant line. I think
perfectionism in general, I don't think it never takes you anywhere like to a good place.
Yeah.
Because it helps you, it stops you taking action.
Yeah.
Because you're overthinking everything, how you said, like it takes months to take something out and then you'll never be happy.
Yeah.
So it basically like it stops you to do things. So anyway, I'm glad to be here.
Stops the progress. So are you happy now? This is your thing. You're a happiness coach, right? You look very happy.
Listen, I'm happy to be here with you. One of the questions that they always ask is like, "Oh, you're a happiness coach, so are you always happy?" Hell no, I am happy now, but I'm not always happy. And it's like being happy doesn't mean that you always have to be happy. There are days and days, you know. So I'm happy to be here with you. I'm happier in general in my life. I do a lot of work, but I'm not always happy. Yeah. And I don't think there is a person that, you know, like, a human person that is always happy.
You know, I wanted to ask you a question, and you tell me how do you observe that? I read it in a Yuval Noah Harari book.
Which one of them?
I don't remember maybe the second one, but he was mentioning that happiness is that similarly to that there is humans that can run a marathon and have this score, and humans can run a marathon and have way less score, like basically run less fast, and no matter how much this guy versus this guy or this woman versus this woman will practice, they will never reach the same results because of their natural genes or their natural gift for running, or for their VO2 capacity, their lung capacity, whatever, their heart. He was comparing that to happiness. He was saying that being happy is something that is similar to this. So if you are, you have an ability to be happy, let's say, just for the sake of the example, 7, and another person have the ability to be happy, his maximum ability will be 6. So do you agree with that? Or you understand that?
I understand, and when you mentioned the example with the running, I have to say, like, it clicked to something else in my mind, actually. Because I think it's a matter of like mindset, and it's a matter of like how people are looking at the whole, the problem, like the example. Because a person can be a 6. Let's say, somebody, like 2 people are running a marathon. The first one gets to the 3rd place, the second one gets to the 8th place, right?
Yeah.
So the 3rd one is looking and it's like super desperate, super disappointed. I wanted to get a medal, like a golden medal, right?
Yeah.
So instead of like doing something with it and taking it in a positive way and like looking at it from a good perspective, he will just like kill himself and, oh my God, what have I done? The other one, the one that got like the 8th place, is happier than he was like if probably he would have gotten the 3rd place. And he's looking, like, I'm on the 8th place, but I could do better. And then he looks at it and it's like, we have an expression, learn to fail or fail to learn.
Okay.
What have I done wrong? What can I improve? What are the things that I will do the next time better? So the one from the 8th place, for me, it's like, he's more of a winner than the one that from the 3rd place.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of like mindset of how people are looking at the thing. But to answer the question, so can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Do you agree with? And it's a really cool thing that you talked about, and I will tell you a really nice story about that. But the question is, do you agree that some people have the ability to be happier than others? In similarly to a muscle, some people have the ability to grow muscle and become bigger, and some people are just naturally less have the
prone to do that. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I will have to look into the research because everything like we usually talk to about, like it's like science based, and we're looking at that. At the moment, I don't think about any research like at this point that will actually show that there are like people they're prone to be more. But I think it's a skill that we can train.
Yeah, this is completely true. So if you're happy,
of course, like the environment, like everything like affects you and the way, but like people that, of course, they're like born in let's say a country that is like, no, I won't say the Africa, but like the defavor, like the poor country.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's okay to say there's poor countries. I think, by the way, I don't know if people who live in poor countries are perhaps less happy. I don't think it's necessary. I don't see the connection. I think that happiness is a place in the head. It's not a place on the map, And also, like, it's a journey. It's not a destination. Yeah.
It's like the thing, like, because everybody, like, when I get like $1 million, then I will be happy. When I'm going to lose 20 kilos, then I will be happy. When I'm doing that, then I will be happy. And this is like completely wrong.
Yeah, no, I understand and relate to your project, relocate to happiness. So I think that as I said, the happiness is a place in the head, but it's not a place on the map. But sometime shuffling or reshuffling the cards can help you sort of make the picture clearer and figure out what to focus on and what will make me happy. Mm-hmm. Because I think you can be happy anywhere. But in order for you to realize that, sometimes you need to do a change. Does that make sense?
Completely.
Yeah. So the story about the marathon guy, there is a really funny video final from the Olympics of a swimmer. I follow swimming, and this guy from Brazil, and he's a bit older. And he's, of course, super gifted, swim in the final. and it's really like they made a meme about it, and he got to the third place on 50-meter sprint or 100-meter sprint, and he was blasting from happiness. Just that he got because it's a huge thing to get a bronze medal, yeah. And he was happier than the other two, than the gold medalist, because the gold medalist was actually disappointed that he didn't broke the world record. He was like nearly like in a split of a second, and the second one was bummed that he didn't got the gold medal, but he was just so happy. It's a really famous video from the last Olympics. It's a Brazilian guy named Bruno something, and he was just like raving. It's so true. It's so true.
I raised my point.
Yeah,
but I want to go for a second back to
and the title was who's the real winner? It's amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah, true. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, so I just wanted to say, because you were mentioning the happiness. So my formula would be like happiness equals meaning plus pleasure. This is like the formula that we usually give. And I usually teach, or I'm like, when I talk to my trainees, I talk about the SPIRE model. It belongs to my professor, Dr. Tal Ben Shahar, who is my mentor and my the person that I really look up to.
This is his formula.
This is his model, yeah. So we're just like kind of like teaching it. So SPIRE is as spiritual, but not like not religious. Spiritual as meaning in life.
Yeah.
And I always like joke about the fact that, I don't have anything with the people that are trying like alternatives, like the cacao and the hugging the trees and everything.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in this stuff. So spiritual as meaning in life. P, physical. Like the physical part. Mm-hmm. And mind and body are connected. So under this model, there are like other principles. I is intellectual. Curiosity and openness like bring a lot of happiness to life. Deep learning also is like very important. R, relational, is one of my favorites.
Relational?
Relational.
What it means?
Relational, so it's like, first of all, is the relationship with the others. By the way, okay, so what do you think is like the number one predictor of happiness in people's life?
Probably good relationships.
Exactly. So it's not like success, fame, money. The number one predictor of happiness is like relationships.
Having a good relationship.
Exactly. So a good relationship with the others and a relationship with yourself.
Okay.
So
you have to have a really good relationship with yourself.
Exactly.
Looking at the mirror and say, I love this guy. Or I love this girl.
It's true.
Yeah.
Also that. So E is emotional. Emotions are all emotions are legit.
It's a serious list.
It's a serious list that leads like to happiness and like to like a whole being.
Yeah.
And we're talking about everything is interconnected, and like the aim of happiness, the aim of life at the end is like is happiness, and the ultimate currency is happiness. This is Aristotle. It's not me saying
Aristotle,
it. Yeah. So the formula of happiness, like everything, like, and the idea is to kind of like check all. Actually, with my trainees, I start like it's called SPIRE check-in.
Yeah.
So on the first session, I usually give this exercise. It's called SPIRE check-in, and I usually ask them to get to give a number from 1 to 10 from SPIRE, and then they have to give themselves like a. And I always say, like, this is not a test. This is like, you don't have to pass it or not. It's like you against you.
Yeah, it's just an assessment. Yeah,
exactly.
I get it. Yeah.
And then they say, like, they give themselves like numbers, like from 1 to 10, and then they have to choose like they say where they are and where they want to be.
Yeah. How many questions again?
How many questions?
How is it working, the assessment?
So it's called SPIRE check-in.
Okay.
Then you have like the S, like I usually give them more explanation about the SPIRE. Mm-hmm. And then they have to give themselves like from 1 to 10, like some numbers.
Yeah, then okay, I remember we talked about it before. Yeah, okay.
And then like they give the numbers and I ask them where do they want to get. Like, so they have to choose like one little step towards that to reach that goal. Like, so let's say you're like a 5 at physical, then you want to get like to 7. Yeah. And what would 7 mean to you? And then you have to just, like to give yourself like some small tasks, small changes, habits. And I have to share something about this one. So I start giving it to my trainees and they were coming back. And instead of like 99% of them, they came back more frustrated They left the previous session.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, what's happening here? Because I gave them actually to do like 5 different activities, which means 5 different habits, which is impossible to do actually, because at the end of the day, when we adopt, this is another, like I'm throwing you in like in different themes, but when we adopt a new habit, the idea is like to stick with the same habit, like for 1 or 2 maximum habits for 21 days, and only after that it sticks. Because if you're doing like a 5 or 6 new habits,
it will be
most
difficult.
of the chances
you will lose everything. You will not get anything. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So basically, what you say is focus on one thing
that you want to
with
change.
small increments.
Yeah, it's also called like Kaizen is like a Japanese actually method.
Yeah.
It's like talking about, we're going back to the marathon. I want to run a marathon. What does it mean that in 2025, let's say, what does it mean that I will do tomorrow? Tomorrow morning, I will walk for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Small changes make big differences.
Yeah, exactly. No, I completely understand.
And of course, apply constantly. Like if you walk like 5 minutes every other day, and one day yes, one day no, then nothing will change. But the idea is like, and there's another research actually, the small change is applied constantly, they bring more lasting change and more happiness than a big event. All these boot camps, all these retreats, all this stuff, they bring you a high, but then they just like bring you back.
That's very true. I've done a few of these boot camps, and I've done one in Israel with Alon Ullman. Probably you heard. He's Tal Ben Shachar is I think he's worldwide, right? He's Canadian.
He's American Israeli, but he was a professor at Harvard. And
so Alon he's focused on Israel. So anyway, we got recommended to do it, and we went to a workshop, and then in the workshop he gives you a seminar of 3 or 4 days. And after the seminar, we went together, me and my wife, and we were in such a big high. I was saying yes to everything. Like I had a friend coming me the other day, giving me like this business idea. Hey, and we were about to relocate. I want to do this and open this kind of gym in a container, and I don't know, like a crazy idea. And I was like, yes, let's do it. And my wife was like, hey, you sure you want to go for it? You are in 3 weeks, we are leaving to Portugal. But I was like, no, we have to be positive. We have to try. And it wasn't realistically hold, the work needs to be done on small increments, on long term. Yeah, it's like a marathon. Yeah, I completely agree.
This is why I was also joking about the New Year resolutions.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? That I don't believe in New Year resolutions?
Okay, I got it. Yeah, but we talked about it?
We didn't talk about it, but we were, I think this is when you actually invited me I think you saw my post about New Year resolutions, and then you invited me to the podcast.
Maybe. Now I think now you're, from what I see and feel, that your strategy is way more solid, And
no, I changed the strategy.
Yeah. So you want to tell me about it? What's the new strategy?
So first of all, I don't even remember what you're talking about. It feels like ages ago.
You don't remember?
No, of course I remember, but I think it's like...
We made it a cafe.
No, of course I remember everything. Yeah. I'm just joking. I'm joking that it feels like it's like literally a year ago. And I completely changed the target audience because we talked about happiness and we talked about relocation. I was training this girl and she was relocating. She was before relocating, and then she stopped. It's like something, I don't want to get into details, something with the husband's work and whatever.
Yeah, never came to fruition, the actual relocation.
Exactly, okay. Yeah. So then I realized it's like you don't have to physically move, like relocate from a place to another. It doesn't have to be like my target audience is not only the people that are relocating from a location to another. Yes, I do have like a lot of expats like still as my target audience. But at the end of the day, relocating is meaning like a change. Yeah. And then it's like more... relocate to happiness, like a more mental shift to get yourself from a place to another. And then I was also talking to other friends, and she said to me, every time you talk about the Happiness Studies Academy, the academy of my teacher, and every time you talk about positive psychology, you're just thriving. Like you could see on your...
Don't worry about it. It's just a microphone.
Every time...
Push it back.
Yeah. I'm not
Sorry,
used
go ahead.
to have, yeah. So every
You
time
don't used to have a microphone stuck on your face.
And they're like, yeah, just behave normal, just behave like we're just us. And then I get the microphone. Okay, so what I
You're
was
saying
saying,
you're thriving.
so I was like, every time when I talk about positive psychology and about like happiness in general, my energy completely changed. And this is when I understood that my target audience are actually also the moms, that I call them the moms that want it all. And that, you know, they forget that we have 24 hours in a day and they want this and this and that. But then at the end of the day, they're like unsatisfied with their lives and unhappy because they also want a career and they also want to be with a kid. And they also want to be like to go to have a social life, and they also want to train, and they also want to do this and that.
Yeah.
So anyway, my new target is actually those people stuck in the rat race.
Okay.
And yeah, just sharing all the tools that I learned from the positive psychology.
Yeah, but getting to them. This was the thing. This is getting to them, because I think because if it's which I think it is, if it's a good tools that you are providing, if you believe in those tools, you can. This is actually what I am doing now. I'm having a seminar here, and I'm gonna share my story and how and I think this is way more personal, and this is give you as a coacher the time to practice and first work with your close niche, with your, as I said, friends from moms from school, friends from the gym, which are, they already know you a little bit, and there is already a connection, and some of them actually want to support, and some of them want. So
the strategy is like it was like last year was like word of mouth, like really going like to the small circles. I still want to go international and to go forward like with the plans and everything. And I'm coming like with a new, I think that like my focus now is like coming with a very good product and being very, like I'm building the website, the branding, the everything, like I'm going like to a different, on a different level. But I think that at the end of the day, like the product that I'm coming out with, it has to be very good. And I call it being a rock star.
Being a rock star.
Being a rock star, like having a rock star product.
Okay.
Having a rock star product, meaning you have such a solid product that no matter if you're going to the mom, like from the school and the close,
it will sell. It will work.
No matter if you go from the closest circle to the big international, you're really sure what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And my product now is like, I didn't launch it yet, but it's like a questionnaire. Like I wrote 100 questions from the positive psychology that I want to apply.
You told me.
So I did.
No. It's interesting. Go ahead. Elaborate on that questionnaire, because I see you post now those.
The post is like, that I like playing with numbers. So it was 24 days. I didn't get yet to the 24 days, but I'm playing with the numbers. Like, so it's 23 guest speakers for my new podcast soon. And 20 quotes that changed my life, and 21 days to change a habit, and on and on and on, and webinars and all this stuff. So you know that I like playing with the numbers. But the last one is 24 questions that you have to ask yourself.
24 or 100?
So 24 is out of the 100, but I don't want to, of course, like 24 is like my freebie.
Yeah.
Out of the 100 from the positive psychology.
Okay.
And people are like asking me, okay, so what is this positive psychology? Like, what is different from the traditional? And I think that if I look at the essence of the positive psychology, and if I put it like in one sentence, positive psychology like actually focused on what works in an individual lives, in a relationship, or in an organization, like looking at the full side of the glass. And the traditional, I will just like give you. Because it relies to the importance of questions, because at the end of the day, it really matters the questions that we ask ourselves.
Ourselves or others, or both? Because this is the questionnaire, you present the questionnaire to potential leads.
Exactly.
To potential clients, to people who wants to contact you and be happier, basically.
Exactly.
Just want to make sure I'm on the same page.
You're exactly. So the idea is like for me to present, like to ask the questions, but the idea is like for them to ask themselves. And I had like actually a trainee that she said to me, like I was with her like for more than 1 year, and she said, you know what, there are a lot of situations that happen, and actually I hear your voice in my mind, like what would Luca ask me now? So the idea is like not to get those people like clinging on you and I'm their anchor. The idea is like to get to the people to ask themselves the right questions.
Okay.
Because questions, create reality. And asking the right questions, it just leads you to create the right realities.
Yeah, I understand.
So I just want to go back for a second. So the traditional psychologist, if you go to a therapy, what they would ask you?
I haven't been to therapy for a while, but I think they kind of give you the spot. They kind of know what I've learned, that they know how to give you the spot for you to talk a lot, and they're not really. If I would say that maybe 20% they're talking, and you are 80% talking. So it's kind of like they know how to give you the microphone, and you're kind of like releasing.
Yeah.
And they're like in the, okay, an hour and we finished our time. Okay, so, and we will talk about that next week. And this was kind of like what I got from the therapist I went to. And you actually get cling to them. You want to, you get addicted to the feeling of to go and to share and talk and all that.
And to be listened and to share, because hearing yourself saying out loud the question also is like very important what they're asking you. But I think that that need of like sharing and of having someone really paying attention to what you're talking is very important. Go ahead, sorry.
No. But I felt it really goes a lot kind of like in circles. But regarding your question, what they ask, so I found like sometimes what I found actually they kind of like reverse the question back to you in a way. Oh, so you're not happy with your career? What does this make you feel? Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, so you're in a lousy period with your partner. What do you think about that? Like stuff like that. And you're like, and they're like outsmart you like in really tiny bit. Like they're like a few meters. They're like just ahead of you, and they're like sort of rolls the question back to you. I remember, I'm going to tell you this story. I came back from when I finished university. I was studying in Australia, and then I came back to Tel Aviv. And then I had a relationship, but I was also going a bit crazy with my head. And I was not going crazy, but I was becoming religious. I've met a religious guy in Australia, and he was like going back, בחזרה בתשובה, whatever. I don't know how to say that in English. But so my mom was, hey, he lost it, so maybe you should go see a therapist. Mm-hmm. And I remember after a couple of months, I ditched the becoming religious after a few months. It was like, I don't really, in Israel, it felt really political and wasn't the right move for me anymore. But I remember that I just, one day it clicked for me that the therapy and doesn't do justice with me. It doesn't get me the place I want. I need to take like proper action. I need to move out from my parents' house because I moved back from Australia to my parents, back to, felt like, in basically in jail. And so I needed different things, like move to Tel Aviv, just change my life again. And I told her, after a few months, I told her, hey, look, be 5 minutes before, like doing her the opposite, like, just, okay, thank you for your time. I just want to say something before we finish. It was really nice talking to you. I had a really good experience, but I think this will be the end. The last one. If I need something in the future, I might connect you, but I kind of figure out what I need. And she was like,
really?
Yeah, she was like blown out, and that's it. I felt like it's like a game. It's like almost like a dominance dance with someone that is trying to lead you. Of course, there is benefits to it. I might have found what I need because of the conversation I had with her. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's as important to have them as frequent or I don't know. I just got lost in myself a bit. But
No,
this
it's
is
okay.
the story.
Okay, so anyway, so I'll just get you back. So I started explaining you about the positive psychology, and then I said like the way I'm explaining usually about the positive psychology is giving the example of the traditional psychology.
Yeah.
And the problem here is that they focus only on the they focus on the negative, and they're asking the wrong questions. So when you go to a traditional psychologist, and I don't have anything against anyone, just to make clear, the first thing they ask you is, so why are you here? What's wrong in your life?
Yeah.
What
brought you over here?
What brought you over here? What is wrong with it? Like what happened?
Yeah.
You go with your wife. It's like, oh, so. What brought you guys here? Like, what's wrong with the relationship? If they go to an organization, like imagine a consultant, he will like, oh, so what are the deficiencies? What are the weaknesses? Where are the losses? What you know? So they focus all the time on the negative like answers. And okay, it is very important to look to ask those
nice.
Questions.
I like it a lot.
But you have to also ask the positive questions, meaning. Let's say you're going to an organization. What are your strengths? We're going to a psychologist. So what is working in your life at the moment? Is there something there that it works? Like to put the focus on the good part. Yeah. Of course, like it's also important to ask the first questions. And the idea is like an end. Like the positive psychology looks at everything as a whole. Mm-hmm. So there's always that end, and always like we say reality, reality, reality. Like to understand what's happening, what's the wrong thing, but also to put the focus on the full side of the. I always use that expression, to put the focus on the full side of the glass.
I understand.
So this is what we do.
Yeah, it's more coaching orientated, more less looking at the faults, less looking at the negative things, and focus on. What's good in your life? What are
your strengths now? Yeah. Like, what do you want to do? Like next, like but like to look everything like from the thing, because I really love this thing that in every person, every organization, or every relationship, there is always one thing that works.
Yeah.
You can always find one good thing that works. And the idea in our focus, and it's not always easy to say it, I think that our focus is to find that thing and to focus on it and to make it bigger. And also, like, I was actually, my kids now, they're coming home a lot, and they're like, she's mean, and she was mean.
To each other?
No, about the kids at school. About the school, there's always, like, girls. There's always happening. Yeah. And I told them, like,
I also have 2 girls, I know.
So, there's a lot of stuff going on. And I told, you know what, I want to give you a challenge. And I asked them about a girl that they really have some issues now going on for a while. At least
they have each other, so because they're like together, right?
Yeah, they're in different classes.
Okay.
But they have each other. So I told them, like, listen, let's say Maria is her name. I said, like, is there like does she have like one good quality? Yeah. Does she do one thing good? She's like, you know what? She's really nice sometimes. Like, she's very kind. She's very kind to me. It's like, oops, one. And also at the end of the day, talking about positive, like I asked them, like, can you tell me 3 good things that happened to you? And the idea is like to train the muscles of like the skill of like looking at the positive things, because like nobody's life is perfect.
Yeah.
There's always like good things and bad things, but the idea is like what we're focusing on.
Yeah.
We want to focus like the traditional psychologists, only on what's wrong in our life, or also on what is good in our life.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm telling you.
No, that's okay.
So I'm telling you, there are like more solutions from the point of view of, I just got a message. Reflect on the way you're feeling. My iPhone is like my.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm feeling great. Yeah, thank you. He's asking me my iWatch, like. My Apple Watch is asking me how am I feeling. Reflect on like.
Got it. Yeah. I've seen you've been traveling with Tal Ben Shachar. I've seen you like he does those things in
retreats.
Yeah, and what's it like? It's like a Tony Robbins style event, or is it's like an international people from all over the world, or mostly Israel? I mean, how it works?
Yeah. So yes, first of all, we've been in a few retreats together. For I think in Lake Como, I was part of the people that were helping to organize actually the retreat. So I didn't actually.
Beautiful place, also Lake Como, huh?
Yeah, it was a dream. We've been in Mexico.
Takes only the good locations.
Yeah, come on. Actually, the new one is the next one is in New Jersey now because it's very close to for the MA students, like very close to the Centenary University. How is it? It just so the academy has like 5,000 students, all over the like international. Also Israelis, but like a lot of Chinese. There was another one in China that I missed.
Okay.
I was last summer in Vancouver with the team, and we went to it's called IPA, Conference for Positive Psychology. It's very, very fun because we usually meet each other online, like every week we have like webinars together. But you cannot replace like the thing that you have, like the connection.
No, this is why I love this place. Because instead of producing content, like there is this new thing now that people go online and like they record the conversation. There's one guy from States, one guy from Europe, and they talk and they record it and they use it as their podcast. Even if the technicality is good, the sound is good or whatever, you cannot replace sitting in a room and actually, talking to someone. It's a different experience, I think. It's nice. So you bring all the people together.
You bring all the people together, and we do these activities. And there's always there's a ceremony with the people that graduate, and there's like a lot of activities. Usually, Tal gives like a few presentations, which are also very useful. And for me, I think that the biggest inspiration for me were when I finally fell in love with him, because it's very easy to portray someone like as that. The Dr. Tal Ben-Shahar from Harvard, that he has like the biggest. He had the biggest audience. Like he had 2 of the courses, the most
biggest sellers.
Not bigger sellers, like people coming in class, the most attended classes from the history of the university.
Okay.
One of like on positive psychology, the other one on leadership, like 800 and something. So it's very easy to portray someone as a snobbish, nerdish teacher or something, and like that you cannot upscale, that you cannot approach him. And he is like the most down-to-earth person that I've ever met. He's super inspirational, and he's not. I think that what I really love about him, that he really inspired me with his imperfections, with the fact that he's human, and he also he's actually he walks the walk. He's actually, I saw him many, many times. I have never, I don't have one complaint or one thing that he, or things that are not, he's not doing in what he's preaching, kind of. So I don't know Tony Robbins personally. I only know Tal, and it's very beautiful to work with them and with the team. And and I think that talking about retreats, I think that the first time when I met him there, I was also we were after that in Madrid. I saw him. We had the same taxi from the airport to not taxi, like a driver from the airport to we landed in Cancun. And then we went to Akumal where the retreat was taking place.
In Mexico.
And I was very upset because I almost got arrested in Cancun.
Almost got arrested?
Almost got arrested. But it's life. It happens to me.
I almost got arrested. What do you mean?
I came there.
Did you smuggle something into Mexico?
No, but they thought so. Also, they stopped me twice. They stopped me at the passport control. They were really. They asked me, what am I doing there by myself? I didn't know the name of the hotel because we're such a big group. And I came there, with a hat, coming from a 10 hours flight. And I was just we're going. I'm going for the conference and for the retreat. And they didn't like that. They started asking me a lot of questions about how much money I have and how much. And now I understand very well Spanish. Anyway,
because of the Portuguese?
Because I'm a woman traveling alone, doing what? I really don't have any idea. I finally got out of it. And I knew that they were waiting for me outside. And then they stopped me again with the dogs to check my luggage. But it's something that, I get...
It's normal.
It's normal, yeah. When you travel, statistics. When you travel a lot, it happened to me in Miami. It happens a lot when you travel.
All the Miami, Mexico, sounds fishy. Yeah. Luca, I don't know.
No, I swear.
No, it's okay.
I was clean.
It's okay.
To make a long story short, I found myself with him and with other people in the taxi, and I was really upset. I was really frustrated.
Again, they stopped me at the airport. Again, not again.
Exactly, not again at the airport. And we had a 1 hour stand-up comedy in the taxi. It was crazy. It was so fun.
He was doing it.
Both both of us, and with the girls, there were two girls, like two Mexican girls, and it was a very good connection and very good click. Anyway, then the day after, I see him before the presentation. And he was very formal and very something was completely different. And
before his presentation,
of
course, he's it's exciting. You're excited. You get really, it's like a rush, so you're like really like in the zone.
Yeah,
I
but for me, like for a professor that he have done thousands of presentations.
But still.
And then I went to the team and I'm asking, like, is it possible that Tal is like not stressed, but like, is he emotional about it? Is he like, how do you say mitragesh?
Excited.
Excited? Is he like excited, but like very
afraid or hesitant?
More excited or. And they were like, yeah, he actually gets very excited before every presentation, and this is how he is. And then I stopped him because we were in the same part of the hotel. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it, because I have like fear of talking in public.
Really?
And then, yeah, of course, like
everyone has. It's the number one fear
before dying. Yeah, exactly.
Number one fear in the world. Everyone have a fear from. Have you done public speaking?
Of course, yeah. A lot, yeah. And to finish the story, I asked him like, how come that you were talking at Harvard, like in front of hundreds of students. You have done thousands of lectures in front of the people, and you were like excited and emotional and stressed before a presentation. And he said, every time I do that. And it happened, he told me a very beautiful story with the teacher of him, Richard, something, I don't remember the name. And the teacher saw him before the presentation at Harvard, and he was one of the superstars at Harvard, yeah? So he asked Tal, like, well, how is it going? And he said, listen, I'm very stressed, And he said, yeah, so am I. What do you mean, so are you? It's like the moment, all the great teachers, they get excited before the presentations. And in the moment when you stop getting excited about it, this is, when you stop growing.
You need to change.
And stop caring. And the fact that you get excited, it means that you care. And you actually, he was amazing. The presentation was lovely. Everybody was
I had the same conversation just the other day here with a very good friend. He came here, he actually, they're doing a really amazing program. They do, they're both Dutch, him and his wife. He's like a consultant for companies. He knows his stuff, and he's helping his wife. His wife is a psychologist. She's gonna come here to do a program with me. This is what we talked about, and we kind of like set like just like the both of us, but without recording, and just to give him like a taste of how it feels and everything. And she's doing, instead of psychology, she is a psychologist, a clinical psychologist, but she's now transitioning to treatment with psychedelics, which is a very interesting subject. And I'm very interested in that as well. Okay,
good luck. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I also took psychedelics in my life, so I'm really like, I'm curious, and she really done the research and everything. So anyways, I'm going back to him because he was consultant and was in charge of raising money for many startups, Dutch startups. Mm-hmm. So he said that he was many times he's doing a pitch for many people in a conference and talking about the startup he's working. He gets super like before. It's super super tense before it happens, but then it
goes away.
It goes away when after a few minutes when it starts to flow and it's just disappear.
So the secret that Tal was sharing and all the other all the professor were like preparation, yeah. And then be spontaneous.
Yeah.
And we actually had like one of the lectures with Tal, and he was saying how he's like preparing everything, like the speeches with the points, with the laughter, with the pause, with the looking, with everything. But then like he knows it so well, you get to a point that you know it so well that you can improvise.
Yeah.
But you do have like to, okay, now we're okay, I'm not going to, like I will just improvise, it will be okay. No, you have to prepare.
You have to know your story.
You have to know your story. You have to know storytelling. And anyway, for me, just to conclude what you said, like for me, I think there were those retreats, it's just, and getting all of us together, it's beautiful, and it just, you cannot replace it with all the webinars and with all the online courses and
you cannot.
knowing people genuinely and meeting with them, and it's like a different kind of levels and deep connection.
There is now I think now there is like I'm looking for the right name, sort of
Going back to
the physical. I think the online is becoming a bit boring. Yeah. A bit like outdated, or it needs to be something. I don't want to sign up for any more online programs. I'm honestly, I wouldn't. You
know that also a lot of people that, like, I don't know how much is they're like 20% rate of the people that actually finish all these online courses.
Everyone pays and nobody gets to the end. Of course, this is one of the things I learned from that friend of mine. He was selling online courses. Yeah, it doesn't. People don't. I would say it here. People don't watch these podcasts until the end. They watch for a couple of minutes and they leave.
Ooh.
No.
I hope they will watch it, so I can say whatever. We're at the end now, so I can say whatever.
You can say whatever you want anyways. But
you're going to cut me.
But people don't have the attention, the attention enough today, unless it's like a really huge big shot, Joe Rogan or something. Even so,
I will just give you an example. I was just talking to my sister about it. I was like, she's doing like a course now, 1.5 year parenting course. And I was asking her for materials. And then we were talking about Huberman Lab, the guy.
Who watches the Huberman Lab? You need to be more crazy than him to watch his content.
So there are things that are good, but then
he's brilliant.
He's brilliant,
but he's like, he's most of the time he speaks like this to the camera, and he talks about, he's not even, this is easy. We are talking with each other, and people, but he's speaking to the camera, and he's talking about drinking alcohol and dopamine this, dopamine that, like in giving. He's crazy. He's really crazy, and it's nice. 10 minutes.
So he made a podcast with this woman. I don't remember, Lisa something, about emotions. 2 hours 45, almost 3 hours. And she's an amazing researcher. I personally don't rely with what she was saying, and is contradicting everything what I studied before. So it was very, very annoying to the point that I was in the car getting allergy on my body. Like, I was so mad. I didn't read the book. I was like in this book club. They recommend us. I didn't read the book. But what I wanted to say, that the fact that you're a good researcher doesn't make you a good speaker. Yeah. And I just stopped. Like, I listened, like, I think 45 minutes out of the 2 hours 45 out of the 3 hours.
Even
and that was like, but like 3 times. Yeah. So I was like trying because I was like trying to figure out if I really want to read the book or not. And so I put it in my room, and then I put it in the car, and something like 45 minutes, like, I just gave up. Yeah. It was so boring, and she's not a good speaker. So it just matters how you're kind of like selling the information that you're talking. It's like super interesting. Like, she's super, she's literally like
what's her name?
I will give you, I don't want to say, it's Lisa Bellman, but I'm not sure like if it's the family name, if this is the correct family name. She's basically taking everything that was ever said about brain and emotions, and she's like coming with a completely new
methodology,
the theory and everything. And for me, it was disturbing because I know like the work that I have done the last year with the emotions and with naming the emotions and labeling and all this stuff. And she's just coming, and literally she's like contradicting everything that was ever written and said. And
I understand.
Yeah.
So it's completely coming. She's completely. The subject that you are like focusing on. She's bringing a whole different 180-degree angle.
It's very controversial, approach.
The thing is that what I discovered, that people watch the short videos on TikTok, on Instagram. These people like it's easy. It's very easy to consume, like 30 seconds, 1 minute. You
should see my kids flipping. They have their iPads.
Yeah.
And
they watch on TikTok?
No, they don't have TikTok. They have YouTube Reels. Shorts, sorry.
Yeah, shorts.
The shorts from YouTube.
Yeah.
And
my daughter doesn't watch the shorts. She watches properly.
The full one. No, both. But they also like to swipe. They like to swipe a lot, and they're into Roblox now.
Yeah. Okay.
which is another big issue.
Yeah. But it's really fun. I heard Roblox. It's like
it is fun. I'm like they
they use crypto, right? Or something.
They have like those avatars, and they have like the. I don't know how you call them, like they're buying all the time. They're
buying stuff with their own currency.
Yeah. They have like the coins,
exactly
the tokens, exactly. So it's just like, and for me, it's like they told me like you should be. Why are you not so cool as this, mom? Why are you not playing with us Roblox? You should totally learn. And then they show me about the worlds, and they show me how you can build stuff, and
visually it's nice, or it's like
it's cool. It's cool.
Okay.
You have to first of all you have to build your own avatar.
Okay.
So this is like a whole thing, building, and you have to get the tokens, like the coins, to actually build.
Get your skin, get your clothing, get your
everything. Yeah. So it's a whole world.
Of course, yeah. No, this is completely. I love gaming. I think it's really cool world, and I think this is the future. And they will grow into it. So there's nothing we can do about it to stop. I mean, it will be 1 year delay. But they will get into it,
I think it's a lousy excuse. All the parents that are leaving the kids to watch for hours and hours.
Yeah, no, of course. But
you can always take them to the nature, and you can always take them to surf, and you can always take them to the forest. I told you with the tree planting, the school.
No, of course, but I'm not suggesting.
It's important to know it, but it's also important to watch out what's happening there.
Of course. I'm not suggesting this is all they need to do. Sometimes. Like, okay, you have like a rainy weekend, and everyone is cozy in the house, and they're like chilling in front of the television, and you're reading a book, and my wife is like, whatever, we cook and this. So it's like, one of those. But if it's like a beautiful day and it's nice for traveling, of course. But sometimes it's okay. It's a matter of how much. I would say.
I completely agree.
It's a matter of how much. And and don't forget that some of them, I believe that in soon, 3, 4, 5, 6 years from now, they will have careers in those games. They will be like Roblox heroes that that really succeed in the game, and they produce content. They stream it on Twitch, and the people are signing on their Twitch channel, and this will be their. So you will restrain your kids from becoming
addicted.
Not necessarily addicted.
To becoming a superstar.
To becoming a hero in this world, because you're like, hey, don't do that. I mean, you should go out to the sun from once in a while, but if he's like rock starring in Roblox, maybe. Maybe there's something, maybe it's like something, I don't know. I'm not looking at that as with such a suspicious eye. I was on games for hours, like endless hours when I was a kid, and no one said nothing. No one said nothing because my parents thought I'm a computer genius when I was a kid, but I was just playing games. And look, I'm okay, So,
mais ou menos. I just want to say something. So when my kids were asked what do they want to be when they grow up, one of the first thing they say they were a gamer. They want to be a gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this
is cool.
Yeah. So they want to be like, they want to have like a daycare for puppies. They're obsessed with their puppies, so with animals in general, and they wanted to do this and this and that, and to be a professor and an actress, like a lot of stuff. But the gamer is one of the things that they said.
Being a gamer.
So just to strengthen what you just said.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's cool. I think it's cool. I wanted to actually just tell you a little bit about the program I'm doing here. Just because I think it's important for me to kind of pitch it to like a friend and explain it to you, and you tell me what you think while we're recording that. So the idea, the strategy I'm using is I'm mostly using Instagram, but I'm gonna go into TikTok as well. So I'm producing those short clips. And I'm doing collaboration. So with you, I'm gonna ask Luca, and I'm gonna ask Relocate to Happiness, like to collaborate. I mean, what I'm doing is after we finish the recording, like tomorrow, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna, or a few days from now, I'm gonna look at everything while just make sure we didn't blow it up.
Are you sure that we record?
Yeah, no, I think we are. Now you put me on.
Are you serious? It was a joke. You're not supposed to check.
Yeah, no. But I am. I'm looking at everything, and I'm finding those teasers, and then I'm editing out those teasers, and I'm making them cool, like really. And then what happens is people come to the Instagram page, and then they're seeing I have on the bio I have joined the team.
Yeah. So I think I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is something I wanted to offer you, by the way. I don't have any agenda on it, but because you talk a lot about questions and questionnaires, and then when they click join the team, first it's like, hey, join the team. That's cool. Maybe it's a job opportunity. Maybe there is some. I want to be part of the team. Yeah, sure. It's like a good copy, and then they click. And then there's a question.
The quiz, yeah.
There's a short quiz, and it's powered by a really cool platform. The name is Typeform.
I know, of course.
You heard about it?
Of course.
It's really.
I have like 4 new quizzes for my website now.
Yeah.
On happiness, on perfectionism.
I think you should have it straight on top not on the website. Don't make them jump from your Instagram to the website and then to the questionnaire. Make them jump directly to the questionnaire.
It's a mix. Yeah,
like
but
test your happiness or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like
definitely happiness level and
test your happiness, and then they will go into the questionnaire, and it's a very simple. It's like 5 questions. Super simple questionnaire. Oh, you did it. Now I remember. You did it. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So they do that. They sign up for the workshop. Then they're gonna be a workshop, and the workshop will be an opportunity for me to practice my public speaking. Although it's gonna be quite small, like 10. It's gonna be 20 people, but it's still like an opportunity.
There's always an opportunity in everything. Even with 3 people, like...
Yeah, it's
even
true.
with you here.
I think it really helps. I think doing this helps public speaking a little bit. I think it gets you a bit more comfortable.
But I have to say something, because you know that I used to do commercials. I don't have any problems to do it in front of the camera, in front of like 100 people, extras.
Set, yeah.
But I do find it weird to do it like in front of like a lot of people, just a lot of the people. And yeah, of course, like I'm at the beginning is more like nerve-wracking, and then it becomes like how you said, like then you go into a flow.
Yeah. I will tell you something about it because I'm rehearsing here, but I'm going to tell you something about it. And
preparation.
Yeah. So
and then be spontaneous.
Yeah, exactly. So, but this is exactly what I wanted to say. But just before that, I'm going to do the workshop, and then in the workshop, I'm going to have a value proposition. So where basically I'm saying, okay. I developed this formula, how to produce content, make it fun, engaging, connect with other people, because we're going to have a team here. So the team will be, you're going to have an opportunity to speak with another wellness coach or another psychologist or whatever, and you can do those sessions with them together and grow together.
Yeah.
I mean, just imagine how much
collaboration and
just how much. Imagine I have this girl, she's really amazing, by the way, from South Africa, and she's a wellness coach. She has quite a lot of Instagram followers. But even if she wouldn't, just imagine like both of you sitting here doing that, talking about stuff, and then using those snippets together to grow your both of you and creating things together. And also, I'm going to be also analyzing the footage afterwards. We're going to put it on the computer, so we're going to like edit together. And this is going to be also something that's called Night Podcast, when people can come here in the second month, because it's a 2-month program. On the second month, the people are going to come here, and they're going to have a key, and they can come here and record during the night wherever they want. Just they need to book the time. So that's like another extra plus the session they get. So this is like the whole basically program I developed, and so I wanted to pitch it to you and like ask you.
Sounds super interesting, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So I'm happy. And back to what you were saying about the public speaking. So I'm recording myself without the video. I just put myself on the on the voice memo, and I'm just doing like sort of like a rehearsal, and I know what I'm gonna say. And then I tried a few times, and I'm like, this is not me. Something is wrong. Something is off. And what the way I approach it, I don't sound like myself, and this is bad. This is not. I should get
like
those
zero authenticity.
Yeah, it's not zero authenticity, but it's just not as authentic as it would be.
You want to be, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fuck the crappy Israeli accent, fuck this, fuck that. Let me just be
myself.
And just people will follow, you know. And,
and
then I did another one, completely came fresh, and I was like, let me just, you know, and I put the presentation I prepared, put the slides, put it away. I'm gonna tell you, you know, how it will work. I'm gonna tell you my story, how I ended up, you know, how I developed from like a filmmaker to the more coaching side of things, how I found this place, and then about the formula I developed. So just like kind of working with you as my happiness coach about the process I'm working in.
Sounds super interesting.
Yeah, so I'm really be happy if you come. You will come. Definitely.
I don't remember. It's 19th, right?
Yeah, 19th of February.
I'm here. I will be here. I mean, the kids are on. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's after
it's
the
early
kids.
Morning.
No. It's the kid. They're on the holiday like just the other week, and then.
Yes, our kids is on a holiday too. It's like a semester break.
Yeah. The carnival one. I'm coming.
No,
it sounds
I'm not.
fun. Well, I wanted to say something. You said something and I forgot. Oh, I have to say something talking about public speaking, and another thing that I found like for me, and I was really thinking about it. So, you know those groups, like you're going for a workshop or I'll get there.
You can.
I'll get there. I know. So
you can play with it.
So you're going for the workshop.
Don't be
I
shy.
know. Hi. So you go to these workshops, you don't know anybody, and then like, okay, just present yourself like
yeah.
in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
For me, it's just a nightmare.
Really?
I hate it. And then then I went to a book club once at the co-working that I'm.
Yeah.
So I went there and everybody and people were really talking about everything. And I said like, listen guys, my name is Luca. And the thing that I hate the most in life is to talk about myself.
You really?
So if you want to, because I don't have any problem you talking about myself, but I have a problem me talking about myself. And then I said, and actually I thought about it, like psychological, what does it mean? Is it the imposter syndrome? Is it something that like, what is there that it bothers me? And there's like, how can I do it like in 2 minutes? And I actually asked like this girl that is like, she's doing coaching for presentation for public speaking with people. And I was like, what does it bother me? So what is the thing there? And then I was like, how am I supposed to, and I told them, how am I supposed to say in 2 minutes all about my life? So I don't want to present myself, but I want you to ask me, what does it interest you? What do you want to hear about my life?
Yeah.
What can I say in those 2 minutes? And then people start asking me questions.
Yeah.
And then like other people came and said like, I also hate talking and I hate public. And then I was like talking in my head, like, why did I say that? And why did I do that? And so there are the people that are feeling very comfortable with they're like, storytelling and they love talking about themselves and they love talking about this stuff. And there are the people that they're like, okay, what am I supposed to say to this audience? Like, what do they want to know? Do they want to know about my kids? Hell no. And then they start asking me about books. And my whole introduction was about how much I love reading and how reading changed my life and how much how books, they're such a strong inspiration for me. And anyway, just wanted to share this. So like, it's not only the public speaking, like, okay, I have a presentation. It's also about, okay, I'm going to talk about myself now. And what do they want to hear?
But it's really nice to start with a question. It's really nice to, hey, does everyone here wants to Does who here wants to start a podcast or and raise your hand?
Yeah.
You or like does anyone here think about improving? Say yes, and they're like yes.
Yeah, but they don't care about you. They care about how can you improve their lives. How can you what you're doing affects their life.
Yeah.
Lives. So,
but the storytelling is captivating. Telling a story about something is easier to get to their heart, with the story. Because
of course, they really,
yeah. So it's important to have the storytelling. I'm practicing. It's great. I was thinking about it for a long time, like doing some like talking to people, like Jesus, basically, like talking, and just hanging around, saying my story. Yeah.
Thank you so much. You have more questions?
No, I think we had a really good one. We had a really good fun, huh?
We did.
Yeah.